going to take my 2 1/2-inch dowels and I'm going to measure 8 inches as many times as I can on each. Make it 4 for each dowel, and you're going to go ahead and cut those. Once they're all cut, they're going to be a little uneven, a little patchy on the end, so go ahead and take some sandpaper and sand it down till you have a nice flush flat surface. Then we're going to take our 17-inch round board and we're going to remove all the strings and stuff from our boards. Then you're going to want to measure and find the center of your board. I started to get frustrated while measuring, so I went ahead and laid my dowels down into a circle and I just marked the edge of the board so I know where I want to screw those in later. You're then going to take the board and you're going to just trace out a circle onto a foam board. And then we are going to create a rim that's going to sit on top of our dowels as support. And I'm going to find the center, and then I'm going to find 1 inch away from the edge of that circle. And we're just going to trace that out with my little rigged compass. Don't mind me, I'm being creative. We're going to grab a second foam board and trace that out and cut it out. Now that we have our 2 cutouts, we're going to put the 2 round boards from the center aside because we'll use those later for our lid. And we're going to go ahead and use Elmer's school glue and tape to go ahead and secure these together. We're going to repeat this process on a cardboard box that's just folded in half so I can cut through 2 layers at once. And we're going to go ahead and glue and tape those together as well. Once those are glued together, we are going to go ahead and take both of our rims and tape those all the way around so it's nice and sturdy. It should look like this when you're finished. Now we're going to take any hardware off of our 17-inch round board. Set it aside because you can reuse it or use it on another project. Here I'm finding where I want to place my legs. And once I find the cross sections for my legs, I'm going to go ahead and trace them out. And then we are going to drill the holes for these. Once you have your holes deep enough, you'll add some wood glue, screw them on, and also pre-drill your holes for your wooden dowels. Place an L bracket and voila! You're going to pre-drill your holes into your dowels as well. It makes it easier to screw in everything. Then you'll place your rim on top, screw it all into place, and it should look like this. I didn't feel it was strong enough, so I took some cardboard, cut them out, and rolled them up and taped them, and wedge them into place between our wooden dowels for extra support. I didn't glue them into place, but you can. I'm going to be covering them later, so you won't even have to worry about them moving anywhere once everything's done. It should look like this. We're going to take another foam board and we're going to measure out 9 inches up and cut that all the way down the length of the whole poster board twice. And we are going to staple those to the wooden dowels and the base of the board on the outside of our frame that we have built. should look like this when you're finished, and you'll just take some tape and secure it where your two foam boards meet, just to make sure everything's snug and not coming off. I'm going to take our lid and the two pieces of foam boards that we set aside, and we're going to glue those to the center of our top board. You may need to trim them down a little bit, and then that's just so when we put our lid on the top, the lid doesn't go anywhere. Here I found my center again, and I measured out where I wanted my tufting holes to go. I have 5 on the seat, 6 inches apart from each other, and I think they're about 4.5 inches away from the center. You're going to pre-drill those holes and place it upside down onto your foam, and I have 1-inch foam. I'm going to go ahead and cut a circle around. It doesn't need to be perfect because it's all going to be covered anyway. We're going to take our Elmer spray glue and spray that on the top and add our piece of foam on top. And then we will staple around the edges. Once I had that stapled into place, I went ahead and glued an extra piece of foam that I have on top. It's a 1-inch thick round foam that you can find at Walmart. You're going to use a wooden skewer or something pointy and thin to find your holes. I used a milk cap and a pencil to trace out my holes. For this next step, you're just going to go ahead and cut out the circles that you just drew onto your foam. I have 2 sheer fabrics. I have my lace, so I'm going to cut that out, and I am going to put batting on the top of our foam and poke out the holes where our tufting will go. And then you will place your sheer fabric first and staple it into place. And you will do the same with your top fabric as well. Once you have stapled them all into place, I usually like to fold my fabric and make it look a little creased between each tuft, but with this fabric it's too stretchy to do that, but just an idea to make your tufting look a little more nice and crisp. When you're finished, it should look like this. I stapled it all around the edge of our foam boards on the inside. You could take an extra piece of fabric and cover that if you'd like. I didn't because you won't see it. You're going to take your furniture buttons and your E60,000 glue and glue those bad boys into place. So pretty. You're going to go ahead and spray paint your legs any color you'd like. Then we are going to find our measurements for our tufting. I found my halfway point, which is 4.5 inches down and up from the bottom. Then I measured those about 5 inches away. Each hole is 2.5 inches from the top and bottom. Then we are going to go ahead and get our adhesive spray again. Spray that all over. And I have my pre-cut out foam. It's 9 inches tall. And you're just going to go ahead and add that around the edges. You're going to go ahead and poke a pencil through to find out where your holes are, and then go ahead and use scissors to cut out your holes a little wider than that. Then pre-cut your fabric, and I had to put mine in the dryer because it's really wrinkled. Then I went ahead and stapled it around the rim and the dowels on the inside just to hold the fabric in place. So I take the eraser side of my pencil and I push the fabric through the holes that I've pushed through with the pencil. And I take a piece of a wooden skewer and poke it through the fabric and twist it around until it pulls the fabric into my tufting hole the way I want it. Can't really see, I'm sorry. And then you tape that into place so it doesn't move anywhere. Staple all around the bottom, nice and even, so it looks pretty like this. And voila, there's your tufting holes. And I had to use different buttons for the sides. I found these at Hobby Lobby. They're about $4. And I just glued those in with E60,000 as well. So here you're going to measure out 8.5 inches of your regular poster board. And you're going to cut those out. You need 2. And a round piece to place at the bottom of the inside of your seat. I used the cardboard I had from earlier. I glue those in place with the Elmer's glue. I recommend also spray painting the inside black. I didn't have enough paint for that though. I'm going to secure that into place, and you're going to take those 2 pieces you cut out that are 8.5 inches long, and you're going to place those inside and staple around the rim. And your inside is complete. Once we have that all stapled into place, we are all finished. I went ahead and took some E60,000 glue and glued some trim around the legs, and this is our finished product. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and let me know what you think or if you have any ideas for what you want to see next. Have a great day.